What's up, DFS players? Nothing better than waking up to the NBA Finals and hitting 4 player props. So I have 4 player props for you today, and we already have a ton of entries already open on PrizePicks, literally a ton, but we are going to go through a few more. We are going to go through the best player props in the MLB and the NBA for today. So again, what's pretty fascinating about PrizePicks is the way this platform works is any 2 picks you select, it doesn't matter if you take the overs, the unders, your payout doesn't change, overs to unders, right? It doesn't matter what 2 picks you select, $20 to win 60, of which $20 is your entry stake. So it's just 20 to win 40 in profit. So essentially, PrizePicks is giving you plus 200 odds on every single 2-leg entry that you place, which means you have to win 57.74% of your PrizePicks, player props to break even. So this is the win rate you are looking to beat as a PrizePicks player. So again, you can use the OddsJam positive expected value tool. So right here, the OddsJam positive EV page to find value on PrizePicks. You can find line discrepancies between PrizePicks and the sportsbooks. So for example, if we're on the positive EV page, we can see one of the first player props available with a profit margin of 4.75%. So 4.75%, it's the top row. So we scroll over, player outs, Kyle Gibson over 17.5, right? You're always going to be getting an implied price on every single pick of minus 137 on PrizePicks. So what we can do is we can compare this to the sportsbooks, right? So Kyle Gibson over 17.5 outs, player outs, is minus 186 on Pinnacle Sportsbook, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, minus 179 on Caesars, and we can get this in our PrizePicks entry, right? When sportsbooks have the over heavily juiced, that means, right, that the sportsbooks think the over is much more likely to hit. So what you can do is you can take the market from Pinnacle Sportsbook, the most efficient, sharpest book, and put this market into a zero vig odds calculator. So they had for Kyle Gibson the over at minus 186 for 17.5 pitching outs, and they had the under 17.5 at plus 136. So you're winning much more, bang for your buck on the sports books if you take the under, which means that the sports books think the over is more likely to hit. So what a no vig fair odds calculator will tell you, this is the most important calculator on OddsJam, is you put in a sportsbook's market and it will spit out the win probability for that pick based on the sportsbook's market, right? So for example, if a sportsbook has the over set at minus 186, the under set at plus 136, this calculator will find the midpoint of the market and back out what the sportsbook's model is pricing as the win percentage. So we can see right here, 60.55%. So let's go back here. 60.55% is the win probability of Kyle Gibson over 17.5 player outs, according to the market on Pinnacle Sportsbook, right? They have the over heavily favored, which means their odds are implying the over is much more likely to hit. And Pinnacle is a much sharper, much more efficient betting market than PrizePicks is, right? So you want to use Pinnacle's odds to find line discrepancies in profitable player props on PrizePicks. So that's the first prop I have. This is just, again, literally just going down the positive EV page and finding value. So what we can do is we can see that this player prop is hitting 60.55% of the time. Again, to break even on PrizePicks for 2 pick entries, you have to be winning your player props 57.74% of the time. That's just to break even, right? So obviously, in an ideal world, you're winning your player props 60.55% of the time like this one. So this is a great player prop for today. So we have Kyle Gibson over 17.5 outs. That's going to be the first pick in my entry. And the win probability, according to the betting market, right, real-time odds from Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, the win probability for this pick is 60.55%. So this one I've already hit, but I'll use it again. We have Curry over 2.5 turnovers, right? So we can click into this 3.56% profit margin from OddsJam, and we can scroll down and we can see again, all the sports books have the over heavily juiced, right? So for example, to compare this to Caesar Sportsbook, to compare PrizePicks to Caesar Sportsbook, on PrizePicks, if I take Kyle Gibson over 17.5 pitching outs, and I take Curry, we got to go to turnovers, over 2.5 turnovers, I'm getting $20 to win 60, right? Plus 200 odds. If I take both unders, $20 to win 60. If I take an over and an under, 20 to win 60. Doesn't matter, right? On PrizePicks, it doesn't matter. Any two picks is going to be plus 200 odds. Now, on the other hand, on Caesars, right here, if I take Kyle Gibson over 17.5 outs, right, and Curry over 2.5 turnovers, I'm getting plus 153 odds. So way worse odds than PrizePicks, right? PrizePicks is giving me plus 200 on this. And on Caesars, I would be getting plus 153 for the exact same two player props, right? But now imagine if I switch Curry to an under for his turnovers. You get plus 258, okay? Now let's go to both unders. So if we go to schedule and then we go here, if we take both unders, which would be a terrible pick on PrizePicks, if we take both unders, so let's go here briefly, we would be getting plus 427. We're only getting plus 200 if we take both the unders on PrizePicks, right? So this is why it's so critical to compare PrizePicks to the sports books, because PrizePicks won't vary your payout. And depending on if you select the overs or the unders in your parlay on Caesars, it went from like plus 150 to plus 430. So it really matters to compare PrizePicks to the sports books. So the market for Curry over 2.5 turnovers is minus 180, plus 132 on Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So we can put that into a no vig odds calculator, minus 180, plus 132, and we see that the win probability for the Curry pick is 59.86%, which again beats this break-even win percentage that we need to hit. So 0.5986, and then we have Steph Curry over 2.5 turnovers. So we actually hit this in game. So let's just hit it real quick. So $250 locked in. Max winnings on a single pick is $7,500. Let's try playing it for 100. So let's try playing it again. I want Curry over, and then I want Gibson pitching outs over. So let me put 100 on it already, and then I'll try to put another 100. Boom, it's going to take it. So weird. So over, and then we want Curry over. Let's make sure this works very, very briefly. Let's try putting 25 on it. So it looks like they're going to take it. So we got 225 down. I actually played this previously for $250 with Klay Thompson over 3 rebounds, and I already put 250 on it. So we have 250 plus, 225. Okay, so we have 475 on this. So 475, PrizePicks is always giving you plus 200 odds. So it's 475 to win $950 in profit. We have the win probability right here based on the real-time odds of Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest sportsbook. We're taking the win probability from the sharpest sportsbook, the most efficient betting market, from their model. What is their model implying, that the win probability for a bet is, because that's how they make their odds, right? Sportsbooks imply win probabilities for a bet based on their odds. If something's minus 300, then it's much more likely to hit than plus 300, right? Sportsbooks imply probabilities through their odds. So anyways, let's go back here. So 2 picks, they're uncorrelated, 1 MLB pick, 1 NBA pick. So then we can back out the win probability of our PrizePicks entry. You just multiply both these numbers together. And we're putting 475 on this to win 950, so we can back out the EV, right? 36.2% of the time, we're winning $950 in profit. The other 63.75% of the time, we're losing our stake of 475, okay? So 8.7% EV on this. So 1, 2, let's go through this Klay Thompson one very briefly. So this Klay Thompson pick, was found on the OddsJam middles tool. This is an incredible player prop, incredible on PrizePicks. So you can see that the sports books have over 3.5 for Klay Thompson, heavily juiced, right? On Pinnacle, this is minus 161 for over 3.5 rebounds for Klay, and we can get over 3 in our PrizePicks entry. So that's a massive line discrepancy. You can see the jump on FanDuel from Klay Thompson over 2.5 to over 3.5 rebounds is roughly 200 cents, minus 330 to minus 144. So Klay Thompson over 3, right? Over 3, this would be like minus 230 on FanDuel. And we can get this in our PrizePicks entry. So incredible value on PrizePicks in this pick. And again, if the Klay Thompson pick pushes, then we get our, this will become a 2-pick entry, right? It'll just be Curry and Kyle Gibson part 2. So, insane value found on the OddsJam middles tool. And then the final one is going to be Walker Buehler. All the sportsbooks have his over-under and strikeouts juiced towards under 4.5, and we can get under 5 on PrizePicks. So you can see right here, I have it, boom. Walker Buehler, under 5 strikeouts, Klay over 3 rebounds. 2 incredible picks, right? And then I have Curry over 2.5 turnovers, Walker Buehler under 5 strikeouts, as well as a 3-pick entry. Walker Buehler under, Steph Curry over, Klay Thompson over. So tons and tons and tons and tons of player props for today. Let's make some money. Let me know any questions you have, and hopefully Curry turns the ball over, Klay gets some rebounds, and this Kyle Gibson guy gets some outs.